Greetings budget travellers, Brad here back. Today we're going to take a closer look at the Kings Grand Tourer Lite rooftop tent. Are they as good as they appear to be? Is it worth the money? And most of all, is it something you want sitting on top of your four-wheel drive? So all the specs for it are available on the website, but basically they've got down to 71 kilos all up total weight. That weight does include the ladder apparently, so I'm not sure why. I don't know anyone, I haven't seen anyone, and I haven't packed the ladder up inside the tent because you kind of need the ladder to close it up. So I'm not quite sure why you'd want to do that, but it's probably more so just the packaging, so people have an idea for delivery and postage, couriers, all that sort of stuff. So, isn't any good? Well, spoiler alert for the end of the episode, it's on Marketplace. There's no plans to keep this, and I'll get into it more. But first, I think we better set it up. I think they claim 25 seconds to have it set up in 25 seconds. Maybe erected in 25 seconds, but not fully set up. So we'll do that now. You'll notice, and you would have noticed from the first two episodes of the Cape York Trek, if you're watching this as it drops, ironing board bolted or strapped to the top for me camp table. I'm going to leave that there. It's light enough you can lift the roof with that on. You can put solar panels, all that sort of stuff. I think that goes normally a 200 watt solar panel on top on their proprietary roof racks that go on the top. That solar panel is 7 kilos plus another kilo or two for the rack. So they've designed things to go on the roof to lift up 10 kilo extra, and the gas struts seem to want to do that. Longevity may be in question though. Ask someone again after 5 years of owning it how good the struts work, but let's set her up. Our first step's going to be set this ladder up. Now, we're going to talk about this ladder a little bit once we get it set up, but basically hooks on, unclip it. I haven't got me bit of timber with me, so we're going to have to drawbridge it, which that's the first of our issues. But the one plus is, yes, it's quick. On the back, give it a flick, give it a push. Now if you are travelling off-road in the dust and that, you got a bit of a guts like me, rubbing on the back door is going to be a problem because you're going to get dust all over the place. But it's got this bit of elastic here that pulls everything in when you pack it up. Pull that down out of the way, that can sit there out of the way. That also, going up and down your back boot, is going to get dust on it, so when you put it in, all pack it up, it's going to put dust on your mozzie net. I don't like doing this while this is like this. I'm not going to do it like that. It's got bad news written all over it. So, just going to use it to stand on that. Reach inside, grab our metal poles, fall off the ladder. If you're just pulling over somewhere for the night and just need to set it up quickly, you probably wouldn't need to do this, but as you see, it takes bugger all. And it just stops that material from flapping around in the wind. But there you go, she's set up. Close this back up because, as you might or might not see, the flies are worse here than they are up Cape York. But that is the Grand Tourer Lite fully set up. So it all depends on your setup Obviously I've got the reopening boot, so I can't have the ladder on the back. All my kitchen stuff's on the other side, and then the tarp off that as an awning or whatever if it's wet or sunny. So the passenger side was the only way I could do it. Got my shower tent moved all the way forward, got this up as far as I can so I can still get in and out of it. Now, the first major con for this tent, and I'll say for this model tent because I'll come back with it in a minute. Oh no, I'll do it now. The Grand Tourer, the big one, comes with a completely different ladder. A different ladder that has a different locking system on the ladder itself. Now, you see here, there's these little tabs underneath here. As the ladder goes down, they hit and makes it. So what was that? Doesn't lock there though. That's what locks it in, and down it goes. These rooftop tents are not designed to have the full weight hanging off these hooks. It's just there to attach itself to the tent. You still need the ladder to work as a ladder. Now, the problem with this, as you would have seen as I set it up before, to have this ladder fully extended, it needs to be a drawbridge. Now, it might be rated for 150 kilos like that. It probably is, even though it's pretty light and rickety aluminium. But I can guarantee you it is not rated 150 kilos for that way pressure or weight pushing down on it. Now, I've left a bit of stuff behind. When I was at various camps up there, I'd just get the saw out and get a bit of timber off the ground and just make a prop up to go in between these bottom two steps here, just so you could stand up here and it'd keep the runs of the ladder far enough apart that it wouldn't engage those locking pins, but it was close enough that the ladder was still as vertical as I could get it. Now, on the last camp I stayed in it, because the ground was a bit uneven, it actually come up even further and I had to cut a prop in it like that. But that is the first bad thing about this rooftop tent. More so, this style of ladder, as the Grand Tourer does have a better one. It's got wider steps on it. It locks from the side, so you can lock each one individually. And as you go down, it doesn't just collapse like that. You actually got to hold the tabs as you collapse each one, and that is a far better design. Unfortunately, I was in at Kings yesterday and it's $150 to purchase it. While we're away, I had issues, and this one is not out now, where these weren't locking properly and you'd climb up to make the bed or throw your bedding in or whatever, and it'd start collapsing on itself, and next minute you're sitting there half hanging over that, all your weight hanging off the side of the tent, and you're just waiting for that crack and thud on the ground. So that is the first of our major issues with this particular rooftop tent. So let's get up here and have a bit of a look inside it, shall we? Before we go too far, I've just got some, what do you call them? Blankets, rugs, whatever you want to call them. They're on special. They're only $5 each from Target. But another con here. They claim it's a 75mm mattress. Now that'd be flat out burnt. I reckon that'd be 50 mil, if that, and it is absolutely horrible. It is just a piece of foam. There is no structure to it whatsoever. On the display model in there, they did have a condensation mat underneath it. If you've done any looks at reviews for rooftop tents, you'd know condensation is the biggest issue with these things, and it's the main reason why I won't be keeping it. But I'm just over 6 foot tall. If I'm laying with my head there on a pillow, on my back, feet up in the air, my feet are touching the top of the roof. Be mindful of that if you're tall, maybe look for something a bit longer. Lip flies is fine. I got a single self-inflating mattress from BCF on my latest trips and had it set up over there. Had room beside me to set the fan up and my battery pack. Up on the roof, it does come with this storage pocket that velcros to the roof. I've had my iPad up in there while we're away and it stayed there no problem, so I've got no qualms with that falling down and hitting you on the head. Depending what you put in it, of course, but it does have that clear front there, so you can put an iPad or tablet or phone in there to view, lay down and watch while you're in bed. But large side windows, dual zippers for fly mesh and the inside. Same with the rear, it's a lot taller. Obviously, it goes up and opens up below the fly there, which is good if you want to have that cracked when it's raining. I haven't had that opportunity yet. When it's packed up, come down here. When it's packed up, it does have a bit of a step on it, so even if water gets in under the seal here, it's not going to come in and up. And you can see there's actual holes for water to drain out and down further, or out the bottom of the tent itself. So, and the other plus, or A plus pro for this, one reason I got it was you can take the tent part out of it. A lot of rooftop tents you see, they're in there. Once they make it and put it all together, you're not taking that out. But this is held down. There's some screws on each corner. Same with the top. And if for whatever reason that gets pinched in there or something, ash, coals, embers from the fire, what have you, you can take the whole thing out and go and get it repaired from a upholsterer or something. If it gets mold on it or dirty, you can take it out and wash it. It's just all those options are open and available for you to be able to fix it and do stuff with it if that stuff happens. Yeah, I'll just climb down, get the ladder, and walk around. It does have a zipper here either side for if you want to run power into it. So you run your lights, extension lead, 12 volt extension lead and that sort of stuff up into the tent itself. Like most things I buy, I'll be covering that Kings logo up. Just, I'm not sponsored by them, so I have no reason to show off their logo. I'll put the solar panel over that so you can't see it. Sturdy-ish, colour-coded hinges on the front. Again, we'll see how that go. Doing the cape and coming back, I've had no issue with anything coming loose. There's been no rattles or nothing. So big gas strut. I'd have to do some googling on that to see if they're replaceable. We'll see what replacement ones even cost. And then you've got your fly and everything else. So again, entry points, three-sided entry. It is rather tall, so if you're going to be somewhere with low-hanging trees or something, it might be a concern, because that's probably 3.5 metres off the ground there, as it sits now on the back of the car. But that's a bit of a walk around it. You wouldn't believe it. I just went to close this zipper here up, and the pull tab's completely broken off it. 3-week-old tent. That is something you are not going to be able to replace. Yay. So we'll pack it up now. Don't think the timer worked on the first one, so we'll have a timer running now. If it claims to be 25 seconds setup, it's definitely not going to be 25 seconds pack up. So we'll hit our start. 1, 2, 3, 4, sync. So first up, we'll grab our poles. Now you do it at a steady pace, you don't have to rush. Even if the rain is coming, you need to get out of a spot throw these back in the tent. If you got a ute or something, just put these in the back of the, just throw them in the back of the tray or something. As long as they're not going to get lost. But throw them in there. Now I leave the windows fully open just so when you close it, most of the air comes out. Go around the way back. Grab your rubber, bit of elastic. Give that flick up there. Flick up there so it captures in that fly, and then we're going to bring her down. Don't need a lot of force, just a little bit. Come down, normally come down to about there, and then you can use the strap around the tow bar so it can't disappear on itself again. And it's a matter of just pushing all the excess back in. You'll have this little bit hang down, but that's all right sitting down. You don't have to have that tucked in as well. The main one is these flaps where your zippers are. They will stick out, and that's probably why this one broke, because of the tab sticking out and the lid closed on it. Last time it was packed up. So bring it down. It'll get to a point like that where it'll sit. Bring this up. And yes, I really should have a step for the back of this, but as I alluded to earlier, it's not going to be a problem much longer. Tucking all in, let that come down. It's almost closed itself, even though we've got a bit of stuff here hanging out. Now, find yourself something flat and a broad end on it so it doesn't poke a hole in it. This is just an upholstery tool. Took it away with me, it done a good job, but just so you can get and push it in without jamming fingers, because you need a smaller spot than your fingers will allow. So let's come along the sides, tuck all that in just so it isn't sticking out. The tent's going to close properly, and again, if water does get in past the seal on the side here, which isn't that good, it's just a bit of rubber seal that goes along it. Like that. Oh, strap's hanging out there. It's not going to wet the tent, wet the canvas. So that's him. Throw our latches on again. And that is our tent packed up. I reckon 2 minutes. 3.5. Stop that there. 3 minutes 18. Again, not long. Not long. If you're packing up a tent on the ground, packing your inflatable stuff up, it's worth it. It's worth it for that, trust me. Plus, you don't have to worry about the ants and creepy critters on the ground, or in Cape York's case, crocodiles. So that's the Kings Grand Tourer Lite rooftop tent. Now, we've looked at some of the pros and cons. Yes, you could turn around and say, well, it is one of the cheaper entrants into the market at retail. The problem with King stuff, you can't really say what retail price is because every day it's something different. But the time of purchase, retail's $18.60. They had it on special today only when I purchased it. I think it was $12.60. So what's that? $400 off, $600 off. Which, if they can just knock $600 off it, how much is it costing them to have it made and shipped over here? It's probably a $400 tent at the end of the day. Thank you, China. So that's what it costs. Went in, picked it up. I said to keep it, it's going to cost another $150 to replace the ladder. I've been looking online, trying to find a similar ladder with your side locking points. If anyone knows where you can find one, please comments below. That's cheaper. I know you can get cheaper collapsible ladders, but it's not really a concern now because, as I said earlier, this is on Marketplace. Now, the reasons, it's nothing against the tent. I think for the price, for going up the Cape and doing all that sort of stuff, it was absolutely fantastic. I'd get into camp, I'd set it up so you let the heat come out of it because unfortunately everything's painted black. if I was going to keep it, I'd buy some of that white caravan roof paint, the anti-glare or reflective roof paint sort of stuff, and put it on the top and just have the whole lid white, just so it wasn't getting all that heat in it. Because up there, when you cracked it open, you could feel the heat woofing out of it, and it'd probably take an hour or so of the breeze blowing to clear it all out. So that's one reason. Oh, that's not one reason, that's why. The good thing about it. Now, the problem with where I am in Victoria here, there were 3 nights, Surat, even Charters Towers, where it dropped down to about 16, 17 overnight. There was still condensation up in the top of the roof, and that's with the sides, because I was in a campground. I had the windows sort of laying in there a couple inches above my body line, so at least I was getting this maximum amount of airflow in, but still condensation. That was on the way up. On the way back, when we stopped south of Rolleston, we had a real heavy dew overnight. Even though, again, it was only 17, 18, but just a real heavy dew for some reason. I'm pretty sure it didn't rain, but the tent was soaked. It had to get packed up, wet. It was just lucky it was a nice warm day by the time I got back to Gilgandrels in the motel. Lift her up, dried out. The good thing with that material, it doesn't take long to dry, but you don't get wet either. So looking at those temperatures, for me to keep this on the roof and use it in Victoria, there's probably only, well, at the moment it's still getting down to 2 or 3 overnight. Last night was 10, tonight's going to be 12. It's going to be too cold, not too cold, but to sleep in that tonight, it's going to get wet. And then you need to be able to go out, motorbikes, in a national park. You need to be able to get it dry afterwards. Motorbikes everywhere, interruptions. So there's only a couple of months of the year I'll be able to use it without it getting soaking wet. Unless I'm carrying my diesel heater, or do what they do in the States and make a modification up where I can have a little diesel heater hung on the side to be pumping hot air into it to stop the condensation. It's just always going to get packed up wet. For the price you're paying for it to sit there, and having the caravan now is a big thing as well, that consideration. Your Christmas, December, Christmas break is pretty much the only time it's going to be used, because you got that heat there, that overnight heat. Up in the tropics, Queensland, that fantastic. Go and buy one, you'd use it every day. But down here in Victoria, it's just not. It's not worth it. It's the same reason why I'd love to buy an old Army's Land Rover, but down here they're not sealed up. You'd freeze your ass off. During summer they'd be full of mosquitoes, and you wouldn't have a good time. So, as much as I like it, this is not the climate for it. If I'm going to sleep in a tent, it's going to be on the motorbike, doing a tour or out in the bush like this or something. I'm going to sleep in the back of it tonight. It's probably the last chance I'll get to have a snooze in the back before we start doing some mods to it to make it more of a caravan towing vehicle. Not to say that won't go back to being able to sleep in the back of it, because of course we do have winter, and crawling in the back of this is just easy. So that's the main reason I'm going to sell it. With how hard that mattress is, it's no different. You may as well be on the ground in a swag, really. During the colder months, I mean, not summer. So, and then if it is hot, I'll just hang the hammock up, set the hammock up. So that's the main reasons why. The next time you see the car, it probably won't be on there. After the Cape York trek, I should say. So one last little thing I did. Of course, it had the Kings branding on a plate on the back of the tent. I undone that so I could utilise the 4 screws and nuts, and mounted these anchor points, one either side, and that holds the awning board on the roof, and that's done Cape York. They haven't come loose, they haven't come untied, there was no flapping, nothing. So again, it's nothing heavy. Ironing board with 2 mats under it that I can put down at the ladder to stand on, kick your boots off and climb up into the tent itself. But one little mod I did, and I used that a lot. It was a very good mod to use. So that's basically it. And just to close the ladder up again, it just collapses on itself. Throw your strap over so it can't undo itself now. Originally I was going to try and leave that there, secure it there, and then put some riv nuts into the panel and actually have the ladder stay there like that, just so it's not getting packed up and put inside. It's been alright so far. A little bit of dust on the base of the feet, and that one wet morning we packed up had some bit of mud from climbing up and putting those rods back in and getting our bedding out, but I don't know. I don't need to go having something hanging off the side of the car there, so we've still got its bag that it come in. It's a shame, them motorbikes spook some roos. I seen them bouncing through the bush over there. I was kind of hoping they'd come this way. Get a look at some of the nature here in the Ironbark National Park, but that bag's not going to last too much longer. The Cape trip has made it almost obsolete. I'm sure Drifter do a bag, a canvas bag that you can put a ladder in, just so it can sit in there, it can be packed or whatever, and not be in the way. But I suppose that's it. That is my review of the Kings Grand Tourer Lite. Some pros and cons there to think about. Completely up to you. As I said, the biggest issue for me is just the condensation. It's one of the main reasons I've taken all the awnings off this and just use tarps now. I can set them up in almost the same amount of time. If they're wet, I can throw them in a dry bag, bring them home and hang off under the veranda. I don't have to have the car out in the sun just to have the awnings open to dry out, and same with that. Once we get into winter or the cooler months where you haven't got the heat in the day, or it got wet over the weekend, it's still wet during the week, you're not going to dry that out. There's very few people, well, there's probably a few people, that would have a shed or a garage high enough that you could open this up inside. Good for you. If you do, you're probably not sleeping in a rooftop tent, you probably got a motorhome, but that's going to do it. The rooftop tent, if you want to buy it, check out Marketplace, it's on there. As I said, 1200, because it was marked down so much, I've only got it on for 1200 again to get me money back, which it should be able to be achieved, but that'll be something, story for a different day. So thanks for watching, like, subscribe, all that. We are halfway through the Cape York trek if you're watching as this was released, so go and check that out. We've just gone up and had a look at Gunshot and the tail end of the southern section of the old Telegraph track. And there's 2 parts coming up in the next couple of weeks, so please check that out. Please subscribe, like, comment, all the YouTube stuff, and yeah, I'll see you out in the road somewhere or in the bush enjoying this. See you guys. But you've got this elastic band, goes around the portal in when it's and I can't do the rest because I haven't set the ladder up yet. Oops, better stop this.